Time now for the business day. Complaints from agricultural producers this evening that logistical issues are affecting business. With certain air services out of operation, exporters are finding it harder to get their goods where they need to be. The producers were speaking recently at a webinar hosted by Jamaica Promotions Corporation JAMPRO. Andrew Laidley reports.
Logistics is a crucial part of the export business. That's the process whereby goods are transported from farmers and producers to consumers. But with the COVID-19 pandemic forcing flights to be grounded, cargo is moving slower than usual. Consul at the JAMPRO office in Toronto, Stephen Charu, says it's one of the challenges which must be addressed with urgency.
The majority of Jamaican fresh produce, which is air freighted, is done via cargo, passenger cargo, or passenger planes. So if those planes are not operational, then it means then we are at the mercy of these travel restrictions, right? So that's one of the biggest takeaways from the pandemic. So we need to strengthen our shipping options.
The latest data from the Statistical Institute of Jamaica show that exports declined 26% between January and October last year. Manager of New Market Development at JAMPRO, Nicholas Sutherland, says containers for fresh produce are also in short supply.
Containers have been a challenge, not so much the shipping lines themselves, but getting enough containers, especially when it comes to things like refrigerated containers. But consolidators and freight forwarders have been working assiduously in the past couple of months to kind of close that circle. And I think it's gotten a lot better than it was, let's say, in June or July of this year.
And finding alternative export routes may present challenges of their own.
The transit time to these markets is also a little bit difficult. If the container goes through the US, that means that certain produce cannot go through, like sweet potatoes, because once the container touches the US, it must face those protocols for importation into that country.
Nevertheless, small farmers are being urged to consider freight consolidation. This is a logistics strategy where a shipper combines multiple shipments within a particular geographic region into a single shipment container. That is then exported to a destination point where the smaller shipments are broken down and shipped to their final destination. Andrew Laidley, TVJ News.
The U.S. dollar sold for an historic high today of $151.34. The Canadian dollar also closed higher at $119.73. The pound is going for $208.25, while the euro ended the day at $187.13. Consumer prices fell in January. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica says prices fell by an average 1.6%. The main contributor to the fall was a dip in the cost of agricultural produce such as tomato, lettuce, sweet pepper, and cabbage. Lower electricity rates also contributed. The point-to-point inflation rate is now at 4.7%. Oil prices pushed higher today, reaching its highest level ever since January last year. This as an Arctic winter blast swept through Texas, a top oil-producing U.S. state. Prices also went up on hopes that the U.S. stimulus will boost the economy and fuel demand. Oil for delivery in March gained 1.38% to settle at $60.26 per barrel. The JC Index gained 1,848 points today, while the Junior Market Index declined 20 points. Among the winners were 138 Student Living, Siboney Group, Lumber Depot, First Rock, U.S. Dollar Shares, and Key Insurance. On the losing side were Epley, 8.25%, Mailpack, T-Tech, Cargo Handlers, and Consolidated Bakeries. And that's the business day. When we come back, news from overseas.